Welcome everybody to the Channel Vision Magazine webinar featuring SkySwitch, which will share with you how easy it can be for resellers to brand the SkySwitch offering as your own and sell a next generation cloud-based UCaaS solution. I'm your moderator, Bruce Christian, Senior Editor at Channel Vision Magazine. Our presenter today is Jason Jones, North America Vice President of Sales for SkySwitch. Welcome, Jason.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Well, before I turn it over to you, I want to remind attendees that during the webinar, if you have any questions, simply go to the Q&A icon at the bottom of the page and write your question. We will get to the questions after Jason has completed his presentation. And with that, let me turn it over to Jason Jones.
Hey, thank you very much. I'd like to welcome everybody to the webinar today. I'd like to thank Channel Vision and thank all those current UCaaS service providers out there that are joining us today. I'd like to thank everybody that's maybe an MSP or maybe an Interconnect or some other type of business, maybe even an office supply company that's looking to become or get into the UCaaS market and maybe become a white label UCaaS provider. And I'm here today to communicate the value proposition behind becoming a white label UCaaS provider. It's been a kind of a wild, I would say, ride over here since the pandemic. You know, we all made it through there with flying colors. If you were in UCaaS, yeah, you quickly found out that it's really a future-proof technology out there and a business, solution out there that you can offer. So congratulations if you're in UCaaS. And welcome to the rest of everybody else here who's thinking about getting into one of the best recurring revenue models on the planet. Let's talk about who is SkySwitch. There's been a lot of changes that have gone on. SkySwitch, we are a BCM1 company now. We're leading, we like to think that we're leading the market in next generation communications. And we still offer the white labeled unified communications as a service platform to MSPs, agents, interconnects, and ISPs and WISPs and VARS. It makes up about, a lot of our base of business out there. We have 700 plus resellers across the United States and Canada, and utilize the SkySwitch platform, for offering UCaaS services down to their customers. This platform, we have been around since 2014. We built a very robust, I would say, resilient platform that we just don't experience any downtime on this platform. So I'll talk a little bit more into that. But we offer US and Canadian-based resellers, the ability to brand their own service out there to their end users. And that's the big difference about SkySwitch than going out and selling a Ring Central or going out and selling a 8x8 or a Nextiva or some other type of national brand. We allow you to package it yourself. We allow you to brand it yourself. We allow you to sell it and build your own company valuation, because that's where it's at, because everybody has an exit strategy out there in the world. I mean, if you're in business, there is a vision of an exit strategy. And when you're selling somebody else's brand and building their brand up, and where does that leave you in the mix of things? It's really not there. So, we have these best of breed solutions that, really support hybrid working to businesses on a global level, remote working, all that capability is built into this platform and it's ready to go. So let's look at the SkySwitch profile. Where did we come from? Well, we really were founded back in 2011. I mentioned we were acquired by BCM1 in December of 2020. And the fact that we were even acquired during a pandemic is really a testament to the longevity and the strength and the breadth of SkySwitch. We built just an amazing business model that is 100% channel only, white label for telecom. And that's what we do. That's our core strength. And that's what we're going to stay true to providing this industry. And we're headquartered down in Tampa, Florida. And like I said in the last slide, We've got 700 plus resellers across North America. We are just about ready to bring on a new reseller out of Mexico City. So when we say North America, boom, I think we just got it there. So got about 75 resellers up in Canada, and then the rest exist here in the US. And we're just really excited about serving, this industry. It's we think that we do it very well. We built an amazing platform and model. We have 90 plus employees, and we're debt free and we're profitable. And we've been that way since the very, very beginning. And I talk to that because I'm very proud of that fact, because no one likes to carry a lot of debt on the books. And as SkySwitch, we've always been super, super profitable. As BCM1, those things change a little bit because we are funded by a large private equity group, Thompson Street Capital. And we just got finished with one of the latest acquisitions, which is WCS out of Coral Gables, Florida. And they are bringing to the table just a huge capability for us with their toll-free peering network that they have. So the collective companies now will be moving right around 80 million minutes a month of toll-free traffic. So, our size and our growth, we're just really, really positioned to do well in this industry. Let's talk about building your own brand. A lot of people out there and a lot of companies go, wow, just difficult for me. If you're an MSP, sometimes you just think about it, you go, you know what, I just want to sell voice and I want to sell somebody else's stuff and just get that commission. And that's perfectly well. I mean, you can get that done all day. But at the end of the day, do you really own that customer? Well, you might be doing IT. If you're a WISP, you might be doing, providing that broadband connectivity. But, do you really own that customer? How can you make that customer even more sticky? Voice is a great way to do that. You're going to experience zero channel stealing when it comes to SkySwitch too. We don't do that. We're 100% channel focused. Our resellers are our primary focus. If they're successful, we're successful. I'm the VP of North American sales, and I probably do 5 to 6 demonstrations for our resellers every week. And I'm happy to do it. It keeps me, close to the technology. It keeps me, primed and ready and better equipped to talk about our services and so forth. But every one of our sales department, everybody in our onboarding department and in our support department, we support our resellers at this level, because if we don't, then we're not doing a good job of it. So we've got a lot of branded emerging technologies too that we've integrated. Teams, the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Who's not doing Teams integration? Everybody's doing Teams integration. Everybody's doing video collaboration. And we have our own brand of mobility applications for iOS, desktop, and Android, which is called Reach UC. And you may ask, why do you have your own branded desktop? Well, when you're doing white label, you just can't create a branded mobility app in the App Store and Google for every white label reseller out there. Having 700 stores in Apple and so forth would just be too much to do. So we create a generic brand that probably a good 90% of our resellers utilize on a day-to-day basis. They just download it. It has no associations to SkySwitch whatsoever. It's its own brand underneath another shell company called SVM Technologies. And it just makes it easy to go get it, download it, and have your user base utilize the technology. If you do want to white label it, if you want to private label your own version of these apps, we have that capability too. But it's a bit pricey and people don't tend to do it. But some want it, so we'll do it for you at any time. So the biggest way here to generate more monthly recurring revenue, we feel, is to make it your own brand. Build your own brand and increase the valuation of your business, not somebody else's, increase yours. So let's go to the SkySwitch white label ecosystem. Many different moving parts to the ecosystem out there. We've got, well, number one, we are a NetSapiens operator. We are NetSapiens' single largest operator, more endpoints, more everything than any other NetSapiens provider out there. And, you know, you're getting the best of class when it comes to UCaaS. NetSapiens has done an amazing job of building a great telecom soft switch that just operates. We really use that core of NetSapiens, but then we build around it. Like, we added HIPAA compliancy to that switch too. We've added a lot of different capability to that to let our resellers stand out there. So we have the best in UCaaS when it comes to voicemail transcription and video collaboration and call recording and, you know, SMS bots and everything else. We're very SMS centric. We have the real-time support. When you start looking at all the different departments that are in SkySwitch and the different, I would say, resources that you would utilize to be successful, I think that's really where we shine. When it comes to our sales department, our sales reps are going to stay with you, and they're going to be account managers for you too. And they're going to be there, and you're able to lean on them for advice and, you know, best practices, and even demonstrations as representatives of your own company. And then you move on to our onboarding department. Our onboarding team, they're going to carry you through and get that knowledge transfer as to best practices on how to deploy, you know, UCaaS to end users. And they're going to be there supporting you all the way through. And then once you finish with the onboarding team, you're going to move with the support team. And you're going to be supported by some of the best engineers and technical people in the white label UCaaS industry. And at every moment, at every touch point that you come across a SkySwitch representative, you should be very, very impressed, because, you know, starting at the sales team, getting to the onboarding team, getting to the support team, it just will escalate into, I would say, a feeling of knowing that you got to the right company. And that's, you know, you should never have buyer's remorse in anything that you do. So what do you get out of white label? You get 60% plus margins. What do you get out of commissions from selling a big national brand? Maybe 18, 20. I've seen maybe 22% if you're doing big volume. But there's a big discrepancy there. Is there more responsibility? Absolutely. But that's where we come in, and that's where we shine. We show you those best practices. We built a lot of automated workflow in the back end to help you move from quote to cash. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that right now. So let's talk about geodiversity. You can't have a great service without a great network. And we use this end share architecture that is built by NetSapiens. And again, we have some of the best. If you go to Down Detector, and it's a website out there that can just talk about downtime of service providers across the United States, and I don't think I do Canada, but, you know, look up SkySwitch. You're really not going to find anything on us, because our engineers and our chief technology officer, Blake McKeeby, one of the brightest in the business that I've ever met, and I've been in telecom now for, you know, over 25 years. He just built an amazingly stable network, and that's what it's all about. If you can't, you have to rest assured, if you're going to go out and you're going to sell product, you want it just to work day in, day out, and have high availability and the most incredible uptime. And that's what you're going to get out of the SkySwitch system. So we have data centers in New Jersey, Texas, Nevada, Minnesota, Georgia. They all replicate themselves in real time through this end share architecture. And when I say real time, when you modify anything in the platform, it really updates itself in real time at all the data centers. So you get this fully geo-redundant active failover and with auto failover. No engineer has to go in and flip the switch to fail over to another data center. It's going to happen automatically for you. So we have these prominent global relationships. And through our network and what we've built, we've got extensive fraud protection and these policies and algorithms that we built into the network. We just don't experience fraud when it comes to carrier services. If it does happen, it's very, very low. And we built the back end to be very resilient in that fashion. So we're managed by over 100 combined years of telecom experience, and kind of talking some age here, but work with me on that one. And we are 100% HIPAA compliant, and we're HIPAA compliant all the way down to the switch level, which means I've got audit and content logging at the switch level. So if there was ever any doubt or any discrepancy as to who opened an email or who opened a voicemail and listened to it, who deleted it, who opened up fax and reviewed it, it's 100% logged in our back end. So rest assured, you know that when you go out and offer these services, you can state clearly and confidently, you are 100% HIPAA compliant. And we are a NetSapiens certified cloud partner. Again, we're one of the largest. The Minnesota data center is dedicated to a company called MyPillow. I think you've all heard of Mike Lindell and MyPillow, and he's got a little press going in the news recently, but they've been with us since 2015. And when they run their infomercials, they get a plethora of calls that are coming in. 6, 7, 8,000 simultaneous calls that are hitting our network and being delivered down to their 850 call center agents. And that runs effectively and efficiently and accurately on our platform through one of our SkySwitch resellers. So, we have a close relationship with them. We take care of those guys. And it's a testament to our network, being able to get that done and have them be with us for over 6 years is just a huge testament to the quality and the superior uptime that we do have. We're very feature rich when it comes to UCaaS. Anything that you're looking for, anything that out there that RingCentral has or any other company has, any other big brand that you might think about, we're all offering the same things. Cloud voice, web collaboration, video collaboration. We have branded billing. We have 2 billing partners that we utilize because they're the best. It's Rev.io, and we've had a long-standing relationship with Rev.io since 2015. And we don't have our own billing platform. We use these partners because they're very extensive in their operation and what they do and their integrations. And it has served our SkySwitch resellers in such a very high fashion. We try to automate the important. And when it comes to UCaaS, the important for you is uptime and getting paid. And if you can get those 2 things done, you're going to be wildly successful in this business. We have contact center solutions. We're very SMS centric here at SkySwitch. We have all the carrier services in here that are built inside the platform, interrupt with like 18 different carriers, global call delivery. But if you want to do BYOT and bring your own telecom, we fully allow you to do that. We do have SIP trunking within the platform. We have some very unique and durable fax solutions that we built into the platform for analog fax and virtual fax. They work very well. We built a video surveillance platform that's within the ecosystem. So, IP's IP. You can do voice, over IP, or you can do video over IP. And we built this platform in to make it very easy for you to deploy video surveillance and create another revenue stream with your customers. We even have some of our resellers that are bundling video surveillance and voice together, just so they look different when those proposals are all sitting together. And they might be looking at 3 different providers and they're like, we all are getting voice we're getting call recording, we're getting voicemail transcription, we got mobility applications. However, Mr. SkySwitch reseller over here is offering us video surveillance too at a discounted price. So a lot of our resellers are recognizing winning deals by bundling in video surveillance. And then of course we have platform APIs. We've got telco APIs, we got carrier APIs, and we have SMS APIs. So if you want to build off our platform and build some custom development that makes you exclusive in your market, feel free to do so. Let's talk about the white label quote to cash centric. What I mean by that is that in our back end, we built some workflow automation that allows you to quickly go to quote the services, electronic signature, move that right into Datagate or Rev.io, and accept it, and it builds the customer into the billing platform, setting it up for next month calendarized billing. And then it's going to move you right into our SkySwitch Store. Our SkySwitch Store is something very unique to SkySwitch. I don't think very many other white label resellers have a store like this that is integrated with every major distributor across the United States, allowing you to go in and search and find inventory of multiple different products from Jenny, from Teledynamics, from 888 VoIP, from NTS, from Gentech up in Canada. It allows you to go in and in real time see that inventory, order those, drop ship on the fly, and it's done. What's unique about it is that those distributors will push back the MAC addresses to you within 5 to 15 minutes, depending on, I would say network congestion and so forth, and how fast systems are running. Never longer than 15 minutes, but you get the MAC addresses that are pushed back into the store, into the order history, for which you can turn around and provision those endpoints directly back into the NetSapiens switch, which provides, again, this back office automation that allows you to roll as a company. Workflow processes, that equates to generating more revenue for your company. So let's talk about some of the target partners for SkySwitch. Obviously, MSPs out there. We have MSP security companies, disaster recoveries. 1 to 50 employees, a Dun & Bradstreet Paydex of 80 to 100 is perfect for us. Companies that are really focused on sales and have sales organizations, they're going to be wildly successful on our platform. And then having some support staff too, that's truly important. These things that I'm mentioning are important, but they're not 100% necessary, because I'm going to go into that a little bit later for you. So that's a little bit of a teaser for you. Having some telecom experience is always helpful. I don't care if you get around to launch anything in your life. If you got a little experience at it, you're going to be, a little bit more successful with it. But people always ask me, if you're looking at an ideal MSP or an ideal SkySwitch reseller, what are the attributes that they need to have in order to achieve success? And I don't care what business is in. It's if you've got that entrepreneur spirit about you, if you've got that will to win, that heart to win, you're going to be wildly successful in anything in your life. And so that's what we really look for. And, if companies kind of fall short in that area a little bit, then we can help develop them. We can't do everything for them. But again, we know best practices. We've got resellers that have just been amazingly successful on our platform. And we know their best practices, and we know what you need to have in order to be successful. And we can share that knowledge with you. Some of the other partners that we have that are really, I would say, super successful on our platform are going to be interconnect companies. They know telecom. They've been installing PBX systems and platforms for a long time. We have Mitel dealers, Avaya dealers, Toshiba dealers. You know, I've got an Avaya dealer that came to me about 2 years ago, and he was, Jason, I want to work with you. Fine, you can work with me. I love to help you out. He just was so uncertain about moving to the cloud. You know, he'd done Avaya. He was a huge Avaya dealer out of Baltimore, Maryland. And he's like, Jason, I don't even know how I'm going to go about doing this. I don't know your platform. I said, you know what? We're going to work together. We're going to stick together. We're going to see this thing through to the end, and we're going to put our best foot forward to make it happen. And if it doesn't happen, then you know what? I'm never afraid to fail, and nobody else should ever be either. But let's go ahead and make it happen. Well, today he has transitioned 100% of all his Avaya PBXs over to the SkySwitch ecosystem, and he is not looking back. He is, and I'd be happy to give any of you his name and number to talk to him personally. We have multiple references that we can give anybody and everybody, but the key is that he stuck to it. He did it right. He's got it. He's elated, and he's just super happy to be with SkySwitch. So again, it doesn't matter where you come from. We can get you into the SkySwitch platform and help you grow your business and grow your revenue. Some secondary business profiles that we got out there too are security and video surveillance companies. They come to us. They've established a great presence in their markets, and they're doing great with video surveillance. And just like our resellers are looking for secondary revenue streams, you know, okay, let us take voice now and start selling that to our basic customers and packaging that together and bundling that together, and you know, creating some new and creative product solutions out there. WISP. WISP are big too with us now. We probably have about 12 to 15 WISPs that are currently running on our platform and achieving success. And some WISPs, you know, they go out and buy their own switch, or they get an asterisk-based switch and do a homegrown solution. But the difference between SkySwitch and a homegrown solution is this: we've got a support infrastructure like nobody's business. And if you get your own, yeah, you can probably recognize a little more margin. But on the SkySwitch side, you're going to recognize a ton more growth. So at the end of the day, I kind of feel, you know, it's a land grab out there. You know, people are just wanting to grab customers, get those customers for the long term, and build this monthly recurring revenue business. And SkySwitch just facilitates that for you in just great fashion. Office supply companies and copier companies, we're seeing that too. Office supply companies, they've got a big book of business customers, all right? We've spoken to a few that have 200, 300 customers, 400 customers out there, and they're serving those customers with office supplies. And they're like, what services can I take to those customers to generate more monthly recurring revenue? And our UCaaS solution is just a fantastic platform in which to use. I talked about, before I get into this next slide and talk about sticking to your knitting, we talked about copier companies too. We've had a few copier companies that have come to us that have just been wildly successful. And this is such a beautiful business model and such a creative model that they built. They're taking the voice platform and what they're doing, they're selling copiers and copier leases to their customers and they're upgrading existing customers to new leases and new copiers all the time. And they're like, what else can we bundle into those leases? And they've come to us and they're bundling the SkySwitch voice solutions into those leases. And how long is a copier lease? Generally anywhere between 48 and 60 months. So they're locking those customers up into those copier leases with voice for 60 months at a time. It is such a beautiful concept. I'm elated about just hearing about those things. But let's talk about opportunities and challenges here. You know, what's really important for you as a company, if you're in UCaaS, or if you're an MSP, or if you're one of those other business profiles that I previously mentioned, it's staying focused on value to customers and minimizing CapEx. And you got to treat it as OpEx now. You got to look at this business now and go, look, I got to operate more, OpEx than CapEx, right? Because CapEx is just a one-time hit. And if I'm operating as OpEx, it's just going to be recurring for you. We like to say go local. And that's one of the biggest, I said, pluses when it comes to our platform. You have the local presence out there. And I think that is one of the most powerful assets that you have, is that business relationship and the ability to even go on site or to even do a truck roll out to those customers. And that really just merges and melds well with the SkySwitch platform. Our resellers are serving those local markets, and it's not just business customers, it's educational, it's healthcare, it's all the industries above. You name the SIC code, and our platform is serving that SIC code out there across the United States and Canada. But you need something, and you really need to focus on the opportunity of something that can rapidly scale and secure that monthly recurring revenue, that MRR. I know for a fact that valuations of businesses get a better multiplier on the MRR than they do on the CapEx. So, and we're living proof here at SkySwitch through the acquisition by BCM1. So, leverage that cutting edge info and communications and capabilities and solutions. Take what we have and take it out to your customers and impress them and secure those customers for a long period of time. And then, we've got access to those third-party services and platforms via APIs and SDKs out there. So the greater complexity, it kind of requires a more experienced technical partner. And that's where we come in. UCaaS can be complex at times if you don't know it. Telephony can't be easy. When somebody calls up and go, what, every time I call this toll-free number, it's dropping the call, or we can't terminate a call to this MPA NXX out there. So, if you're trying to do this on your own, it can get expensive. It can be quite an investment, because human capital is the most expensive thing that's going to be in any business. Okay. So, and it requires expertise, and it requires redundant expertise. It's not just that you have to have one, you have two. People go on vacation, people get sick. So if you're trying to do these things on your own, and we've seen it out there, we have, companies that have, switches today, and they might have been operating for 4 years that are going, what? We wish to abandon this model and bring it to SkySwitch because of the depth and the breadth that you have to support us. They're incapable of growth because of just the management of the infrastructure. That's where we come in. We can solve those issues for you and really be that trusted advisor for you and that trusted partner long into the future. So what are the drivers of competitive differentiation? You have to have high availability. You have to have a network that has incredible uptime, that is not going to be on down detector, and you know that you can rest assured and sleep every weekend comfortably that that network's running and it's being watchdog by some of the industry's best technicians and engineers. Localization. I talked about that local and that go local factor. You got that localization, you need to leverage it, okay? Cost. If you're making 60, 70% profit margin, off a white label platform like SkySwitch, you're lowering those costs, which improve those profit margins for you. And then, you have to be competitive when it comes to cloud and mobile, when it comes to, different collaboration platforms. Let's face it, Zoom really hit it out of the park during the pandemic. Teams hit it out of the park during the pandemic. It was just built for remote working. Okay. Zoom has also hit it out of the park when it comes to growth in the voice sector too. They came back in and did 1 million plus new users on voice. So, they're out there and they're competing well. Well, you got to be able to have these differentiators like cloud and mobile. And we definitely can provide that aspect too. And then the service availability. Again, I talked about high availability and service availability. Our service of what we do through our support departments, every aspect of every department of SkySwitch just operates at a very high level. You'll never be disappointed in it. So, let's talk about SkySwitch Difference, our reliability, our top tier support, and our flexibility, first to market innovations. Yeah, we were some of the first to market when it comes to white label. We were the first in white label? No, but we were the first to innovate in the white label space. Yeah, we came out with the mobile apps and the video with an SMS platform with keyword responders and so forth. We were the first to deliver it. And, with some just really solid audio and faxing capability, with the I would just say the quality of our audio and the quality of the network. We're exclusive with the SkySwitch Store and the auto provisioning and the endpoint management directly with that back office workflow that I talked about a little bit earlier. The web and video conferencing. We have integrated SD-WAN too, that is really unique in a sense that it's very SkySwitch centric. You're going to set up one of our routers at the customer prem, and it's going to open up a tunnel into one of our data centers. So you're getting just the best traffic shaping. You're getting the best QoS you could possibly get. And let's say there was a failover. What happens? Well, not only will the devices fail over, but the SD-WAN tunnel will fail over to the secondary server and set that up. And then once the primary comes back up, both will fail over back again. So, we take into consideration that, if you want a rock solid solution, you got to make it rock solid all the way through back to the customer prem. And that's what we do. So we are a white label only model. I said that a little bit early. We're channel only, white label, telecom for resellers. That's who we are. So we're perfect for MSPs and different VARs out there, and we can mirror your value proposition within your company. And there will never be any customer cannibalization. There'll never be any channel stealing when it comes to SkySwitch. We know what we do. We are true to ourselves. We know what we do best, and we're going to focus on your success because your success is our success in the end. So, and then we have the best in channel support resources. Our support department, again, we think it's unparalleled. We think that, again, Corey Stoker, our VP of support, has built an amazing support department from tier 1, tier 2. And we even have branded tier 1 support too that we're offering our resellers, because some of our resellers out there want to focus on sales. I talked about that land grab earlier in the conversation. They want to be just a sales and marketing engine. And they don't want to do that tier 1 support because they don't want to have to hire people and resources to do that. We offer that for our resellers to allow them to grow their business. There's other branded support that we offer too, even with billing. We have a premier billing option, and I'll talk a little bit about that too. The embedded audio monitoring tools that we have built in with VoIP Monitor, being able to click in and drill into SIP call traces, and being able to learn from our team how to read those call traces is just invaluable for your technical teams and your employees. So, getting that immediate resolution and being able to answer those problems back to your customers when they have an issue, having that visibility is going to be huge for your company. The automation, the back office workflow management, I talked about the branded tier 1 support, and we've got 15 dedicated staff members to line number reporting or LNP. And we get unsolicited emails every week, not just once a month, but every week, about the joy it is to work with our LNP team and how we go the extra mile, how we get the most difficult ports in some of the most problematic areas, how we go and get it done for them, and we run that and go that extra mile to ensure that we're getting it done. And just it's a big testament to what we've built in our operations center. So I'm going to move along a little bit quicker. SkySwitch Reseller Advantages. You get custom configurations. Our resellers, every system is unique. You get to build your own product bundles. You don't have to take a product bundle for somebody else at a certain price with, unlimited minutes in the US and Canada. If you want to build unlimited minutes in US, Canada, Mexico, and Aruba, you can build any type of bundle you want, which gives you a very unique service offering out there. You've got a feature-rich UCaaS platform to leverage and to sell, so you can compete at a very high level. You get the superior support, and you get the generous profit margins too. This is, is there a lot? I talked about a little bit about this earlier. Is there a little bit more responsibility when it comes to white label? Yes, but we built a lot of this automation to help it flow better for you. So recognizing those margins, and it's nice to take those margins and move those into other areas of your business to help fund other areas of business with regard to digital marketing or increasing building an agent channel, whatever it might be. And then the real-time technology refresh, that's always going to happen on our platform. Because it's 100% cloud-based. If something gets upgraded, you inherently get it. Your customers get it. It's seamless and it's ready to go. A lot of the competition that we have right now is, when you look at your competitors out there, maybe it's online ordering only. Maybe they can only go online. They got to order it. With some of these national brands, that's the way they work. And it's a seller sales model. They establish the price, the bundles, and the pricing, providing little flexibility out there. They might be paying a lot more than what they need. The national support, it's we like to say it's nice, but it's really not really. Being on hold for a long period of time. I do a lot of Teams demonstrations today, and I'm not knocking Microsoft here, but whenever time I do a Teams demonstration of our Teams capability, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, it's just like, just go to Down Detector and look at, the outages for Microsoft Teams over the last, just in 2021. It's every week, every day, and it's just a lot. And these are the things that you can leverage and show your customers that you're different and you're better and you got that local support. So you got the on-site service support, that local support. And again, there's not going to be any channel stealing there. So one of the biggest pluses that we have is SkySwitch University. We have a learning management system. So when you come on SkySwitch and you talk to one of our sales executives and channel managers, and you make a decision that you want to come on board with SkySwitch, and you get handed off to our onboarding team, they're going to run you through SkySwitch University. And this is an online learning management system that we've been told that it's better than some of the bigger corporations out there. And again, you can come on board and you can measure that yourself. But when you're going on and you're learning and you've got a detailed learning path that with a little test at the end, it's not only going to help you as a business owner, but it's going to help you, your employees learn the technology, understand the technology, and apply it at a very high level. So you get the dedicated sales and onboarding specialists. You get live webinar training too and consultation. Here's the cool thing about SkySwitch University onboarding team you never leave those guys until they think you're 100% ready to hand over to support. So you're going to stick with that person and you're going to have a one-to-one relationship with them. And we want you to have this comprehensive understanding of what we do and how we do it at SkySwitch, because we know if you follow that model, you're going to be very, very successful. So we got the quick start programs for the quote to cash success. And then we also have platform migration services. So if you're on an existing platform right now, maybe a homegrown Asterisk-based platform, maybe using some other cloud-based platform, and you like the SkySwitch story better, and you want to grow your business faster, we have dedicated internal resources that we can utilize to help you migrate off your platform, build everything into SkySwitch, and have everything done in 60 to 90 days, if you need that kind of timeline. I mentioned the SkySwitch Store when we went to the quote to cash system, but this is very, very unique because we make this e-commerce. We make it very, very easy for you. Real-time APIs, pick, pack, pay, and ship from all the leading distributors out there: Teledynamics, Jenny, 888 VoIP, Gentech, NTS Direct. You get exclusive pricing too. So since it's in our store and only SkySwitch resellers can see inventory in that store, we tend to get a bit better pricing than what you can get out there on the web. So you get the auto provisioning from the store to the switch. You get multiple distribution options and product availability. You get the store account options there. You get authentic equipment from these distributors, okay? RMAs flow through it. All the processes flow through the single pane of glass management portal, which is called the SkySwitch ecosystem, or our Dash Manager. And it just automates that whole process. Our SkySwitch resellers spend 98% of their day inside our interface. And that's where they build, grow, support, and manage their services for their customers. And then we have a cloud cash reward program too. So the more you spend in that store, the more cloud cash you earn that you can utilize to purchase more endpoints. SkySwitch and BCM1 and MS Teams. Well, let's talk about the MS Teams solution for SkySwitch, because it's very PBX centric. It's very hybrid centric too. We have customers that are using Microsoft Teams as soft phone clients for call center. And they run the call center platform through us. They use all our analytics and all our reporting through our switch. And they're using Microsoft Teams as the back end, okay, or as the front end for the soft phone clients. So one thing about the way that we integrate with Microsoft Teams within SkySwitch is that we register that Microsoft user as a device inside the switch. And then we bring all the power of the cloud-based switch and UCaaS to Microsoft Teams. So you can open up and fax from Microsoft Teams. I can be a call center supervisor from right within Microsoft Teams. So we bridge that gap between the cloud PBX and Teams to make it more and make it better, okay? But if you want just pure SIP into Microsoft Teams, then you could run that through our parent company, BCM1, or direct routing through BCM1. So through our partnership with BCM1, it's just elevated what we would call some more cross-selling opportunities between the divisions, and which makes it more, it makes it so much better for our resellers, because now they have a source and they have a path with two channel-focused, operating companies, and who are very support aware, and you're just going to get the best of two worlds there. So if you need Microsoft licenses or you need broadband connectivity, our resellers are signing up as BCM1 partners get access into those solutions too. Again, that single pane of glass management and working on the SMS support for teams due out in Q4 of this year. So what is another big differentiator that SkySwitch has? And I'm getting to a close here. I've just got a couple more slides. We have held an annual SkySwitch User Group Conference every year, except for during the pandemic. So we didn't get it done in 2020. And we didn't get it done in 2021 because we didn't know the outcome or how long, some of the quarantines might be happen or when we're getting back to doing business. But we are slated for Orlando again in March of 2022. And as you can see, Jeff Hawkins, one of our longstanding SkySwitch resellers, I think this really talks about who SkySwitch is. We're just not a company. It says Vectors feels more like a family reunion than a conference. Other white label partners seem to care more about the success than ours, their success than ours. The thing I love about SkySwitch is they seem very interested in my success. They recognize that my success is their success. That is something I really appreciate. If you can align your thoughts with that sentiment, or if you feel the same way about a partnership, this conference, what we do as an organization, that really just says it all right there. So what you get at Vectors is, and everybody knows what a vector is, I think. And if you don't, a vector it's just a straight line between point A and point B. And that straight line for us is bringing you as a SkySwitch reseller and getting you as successful as possible over to point B. So we have the keynote speakers, we got breakout educational sessions, we've got just a ton of peer networking, we got a lot of special events. We have a Monday night party with, last year we had, Bob Marley's son, Julian Marley, that played the event at Hard Rock Live. We do a lot of new product launches there at Vectors too, because we want to wow our resellers and just, create this electricity in the air. And then we also have a huge sponsor pavilion, so you can build a new relationship with vendors and suppliers out there to better strengthen your business. So at the end, what's the process? So after you work with a sales rep and you work with one of my sales engineers, and they are sales engineers because they can provision anything in the platform, you just finalize that MSA and you sign up with us. And then you get connected with an onboarding specialist, and they'll take you through that pre-onboarding process, and they're going to roll you right through. They're going to complete the live training with you, and then get you on the live webinars with the onboarding specialist. And then bada boom, bada bing, you're going to be on board. Generally, this can take right around 30 days to get done. But if you're coming from an existing platform or an existing billing platform, you have some specific requirements. We might want to run through 1, 2, maybe 3 billing cycles with you just to coordinate and make sure everything is 100% copacetic and accurate for you. So not everybody's exactly the same, and we kind of customize it for you. I know that was a lot of information for you, but I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day, learning more about SkySwitch, what we do and how we do it. And I'm going to open up this QA session right now.
Thank you, Jason. That really was a lot of information. But before we get to the questions, I want to know, would you like to remind our attendees how they can reach SkySwitch for more information?
Yep, absolutely. The simplest way is just to send an email to sales@skyswitch.com, or you can call into our 800 number too. It's listed on our website. You can fill out a form on our website. Whatever suits, your needs, feel free to reach out to us in any way. And we'd love to get connected with you.
Okay, great. Now are you ready for some questions?
Absolutely.
Okay, you said that you were acquired by BCM1 Holdings in last December 2020. What advantages are SkySwitch and your resellers recognizing from this new relationship?
Well, I think I explained that a little bit before, but number one, when BCM1 came to us, learning that they were more channel focused, just like SkySwitch, it just made for a perfect fit. And then we also, with all the cross-selling opportunities between BCM1, it creates more of an in-depth and diverse portfolio of services that we can offer our resellers out there. And, like when I talked about a little bit with the broadband connectivity, or maybe doing direct routing with Microsoft, if you absolutely and positively want to go that direction, you can. And then, BCM1 also offers some better enterprise, I would say products and services, like enterprise SD-WAN and carrier services and so forth. And, it's really not in our wheelhouse, because the SkySwitch platform was really developed for SMB, right? The small to medium-sized business. But through our relationship with BCM1 now, it opens up enterprise opportunities too, and supporting those enterprise installations. So we think that's a huge, huge win for our resellers. And I talked a little bit about the recent acquisition of WCS, and there's just going to be more and more acquisitions by BCM1, pulling in technology companies, telecom companies, strategic acquisitions that our resellers are going to be able to benefit from. Again, like I talked about with WCS, the extreme advantages like their toll-free platform peering technology, and being able to move, and what that really does, if we're moving 80 million minutes a month of toll-free, then obviously those costs go down, so for our resellers. So we're always looking for ways to reduce costs, to bring more profitability back into, our reseller channel with the services that we offer, and be able to compete, at a higher level out there with some of those big national brands. So, and there's a lot, and with BCM1 too, like I said, there's more key acquisitions that are slated for 21 and 2022. But they're just building an incredible, powerful telecom portfolio, just to create more network efficiencies and cost savings, and just overall service breadth across the industry.
Okay, here's a question for you. Will this work with a PingTel?
Will this work with PingTel?
Yes.
So, in what manner? I mean, is PingTel? I mean, I'm not familiar with PingTel, okay. So help me out there. Is PingTel a carrier? Is PingTel an SMS provider? Who is PingTel?
Yeah, that's not part of the question. So we'll just move on. We have someone who wants to know what's the number one reason he should consider SkySwitch over a competitor without bashing the competitor.
I would say if you want to grow your business, if you want to drive more revenue through your business, all the processes, all the departments, all the support that you'll get from SkySwitch will facilitate that for you quicker and more efficiently, and you will have happier end users. Our program of what we built and our operational fortitude, we've just built an incredible engine, and it works.
Okay. The person who asked about the PingTel question has come back, and he said it is a VoIP phone.
Oh, PingTel is a VoIP phone. I can tell you right now, we do not have a template in our switch for PingTel, but that doesn't mean that we can't. So if you'd like to get a hold of me, I can talk to one of the engineers, get one of the phones, and develop develop a new template for it.
Okay. That leads to another question. What new technologies and platforms will be launching from SkySwitch in the near future?
Well, I can tell you one. We have a kind of a technology refresh of our SMS platform that's coming out. We've had this SMS platform out since 2017 with keyword responders and SMS bots, but the UI just wasn't up to what I would say today's standards. So we've got a complete rewrite, and all that's coming out, and that's just going to be another powerful solution, another revenue stream that you can sell, inclusive to, VoIP if you wish. So if you want to go out and just sell it to a customer, and it's going to be along the lines of maybe some of the attendees have heard of ZipWhip and some other type of platforms out there. It's going to be along those lines. So you could sell it, on its own to a customer, and then go back in and sell them voice, go back in and sell them, video surveillance, whatever you need to do. It's important for us to make sure that we have platforms that are easy to use, that are easy for end users to utilize on a daily basis, and enough revenue for you to generate handsome profit margins. So that's what we do. What we also do, though, we have a multitude of new product launches that we do at our annual user conference too. So we tend to bake them and kind of hold them a little bit, and then launch them out into at our Vectors conference, just to create a little bit more sizzle out there.
Okay. All right. Well, we're running a little long, so why don't I ask you one more question, and I'll direct those that have asked questions to get in touch with you directly, or SkySwitch directly after the webinar. How's that?
Sounds great.
Okay. So this question is, what does the path of success look like for telecom agents to make the journey from agent to white label?
Yeah, that's a very, very good question. We have multiple SkySwitch resellers that came to us as agents. And right now, these resellers have 1,000 plus extensions on our network. We didn't know how it was going to work out, and they really kind of paved the road to success in this. So we've learned a lot about how they do it and what they do. But, agents are masters at find it and close it, man. They just can get it done. But and one would think that they're probably not very equipped as a single person, operation to provide programming, installation, support, and billing. When you start adding all that up, they're like, oh man, I don't have time in my day to get all that done. So this journey, is that they would have to embark on. It's really where SkySwitch shines, with that back office workflow automation that I mentioned earlier in the presentation. When they couple that with our branded tier 1 support, we're even offering a premium billing service too. We'll do your billing. We'll do all your tier 1 support. So if you've got these support resources on the back end, and soon we're even looking at providing provisioning services too, because we've got the internal fortitude to get that done. So if we're providing that for an agent and he still wants to go out there and just sell it, yeah, there's going to be a little bit more work, but man, getting 60 to 70% profit margin, that's going to be huge for you to grow a business that you can someday take to with an exit strategy and someday be acquired or whatever. Because right now, an agent today, they're just making those commissions. They could be evergreen, but they could dry up, or they could be reduced. Why not control your own future? And this is what we're really talking about when we're talking about this journey from agent to white label service provider.
Okay, great. Thank you. Our presenter today has been Jason Jones, North America Vice President of Sales for SkySwitch. Thank you so much, Jason.
Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Before we go, I would like to remind you about our new webinar rewards program. By attending this webinar, you automatically are enrolled in the Channel Vision Webinar Rewards Program. So keep an eye out for monthly prize drawings. For more information on the program and to see what kinds of prizes you can win, visit our website at channelvisionmag.com, webinar rewards. Remember, you can access this webinar and all other Channel Vision webinars on demand by visiting our website at channelvisionmag.com. And now from all of us at Channel Vision Magazine, thank you for attending today's webinar. Have a safe and prosperous day.